Hey everybody, hey everybody, hey everybody. Tony Fairbanks here, and welcome to Live in the Bold, a space for real, unfiltered conversations about love, loss, and healing. Today, we're talking about something profoundly personal, the loss of a father. My guest today is someone who has walked through that loss and is graciously here to share his story. This conversation isn't about fixing grief, but sitting with it and honoring it. Whether you're grieving or supporting someone who is, I hope this space helps you feel seen. So please, everyone, help me welcome my friend, my big brother, my advice giver, my comforter, Mr. Henry Wilson.
Yay!
Hey.
Hello, sis. How you doing?
I'm good. First, I want to say thank you so much
You're welcome.
for coming on, for being willing to come on when I called and asked.
Anytime.
So, man, this is, how do I say it? Like, I wanted to say it in the last episode, but this has been like, for me, almost like a coming home type thing. You know,
Absolutely.
like
Once a
even
phoenix,
though-
always a phoenix.
Once a phoenix, always a phoenix. Rise from the ashes for
HP.
sure. Yep. So, Henry and I, Mr. Wilson, met when I was teaching in Dallas at Uplift Hampton Preparatory. And so now I'm back here interviewing him. So we're here to talk about your dad. And just tell us first and foremost, like, what was he like? Tell us about him.
Man, he was an awesome guy. He raised me since I was 2 years old. He's not my biological, but my stepfather. But he's my dad. So, born in Memphis, Tennessee, Orange Mound.
Okay.
Went to the University of Pine Bluff, Arkansas.
Okay.
Member of Kappa Alpha Psi. Just overall great guy and a minister of the gospel. So well-rounded, love people, love working with youth. I just love people in general. So social worker, social care worker in Detroit, Michigan. Just an overall well-rounded person that was blessed.
Oh, good. That's amazing.
He's amazing.
So what was it about him outside of that stuff that made you be like, man, I like it? Let me rewind. Is he the reason that you became a member of Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity? Incorporated?
Absolutely.
That was a dumb question, huh?
Now, because when I was younger, we used to take us every summer. Our family really from Memphis, Tennessee. But we migrated to Detroit, Michigan. So every summer, we used to go home to Memphis.
Okay.
And so we used to come pick us up from Memphis in the summertime, take us back to Detroit.
Okay.
Because they moved from Memphis from the auto industry to Detroit, so for income. But we started always go through Pine Bluff, Arkansas, UAPB. You know, and I was like, this is why I went to college there. This is why I played there. Played football, the Football All-American out of Memphis, out of Melrose High School. So he was well known and popular. But he always talked about his college days, and then he always talked about his fraternity brothers and Kappa Alpha Psi, and just. So it was always stuck in my head to be a Kappa. You
didn't know anything.
Nothing else.
Okay, that's cool. I bet you my dad wishes he could say the same, because he's a Sigma and my mama's a Zeta.
Oh my.
I'm a Delta, so.
I know. Mix.
Apple fell far from the tree on that one. Is there a favorite memory that you often find yourself going back to, something that really captures what he was to you?
My dad had so many sayings, man. Like, first of all, the fact he was a disciplinarian, he always, most of my memories of him were things that stood out as far as disciplinarian things. Like one of his favorite sayings was saying, "That's the law of the jungle. That's the way the cookie crumble." I'd be like, what that mean?
Right.
Yeah. That's my elementary big camera.
Stop.
And so I remember when I was 17, every age, a young man 17 years old tried to buck up against my dad, right? Like you get mad. I'm from a man now. You can't talk to me any kind of way, And I was swole up, and I was looking at the camera, I'm looking at the camera now, but I was like, he told me, he said, "Mister, you better soften your eyes." And I was like,
Right. Like, what?
I know exactly what he meant.
Oh.
But it was so cold the way he said it, like, you better stop staring at me.
Yeah.
You know. Plus, he was always a minister too, so it's like, don't let this collar fool you.
Yeah.
So don't get too far gone, in other words, you know. So just always disciplinarian. And then with me being a younger man, I was always like, going up in Detroit, I was like, scared to ask him stuff. Like on Friday night, my friends come over, I was in my middle school, hey, I want to spend the night at my friend's house, you know, go to the movie the next day or whatever. I would have my friends ask him, Mr. Ward, can Henry spend the night? He'd be like, no. And then one day he sat me down and said, Henry, why do you keep asking your friends to ask for you?
Yeah.
Why don't you just ask? You know, and then I started asking myself, you know, hey, Dad, can I do A, B, and C? And he would say, yeah, but as I got older, he gave me a key word to say. He said, if you ever are going through anything or frustrated about something, I need you to talk to me without me passing judgment, or you getting upset that I might get on you. I'm gonna give you this key word. If you say this key word, then that means that whatever you talk about, I won't pass judgment on you. It'll just be like just me and you talking, we're gonna solve the problem.
Wow. Okay.
And our key word was Tokyo Joe.
Okay.
So if he was still alive right now and I called him and said, hey Dad, it's Henry. He gonna say, what's up, Henry? I said, Tokyo Joe, he'll go total silence. Just listen and let me explain what happened, and we'll figure it out as father and son. So those are some of the things I try to use with my students here, you know what I'm saying? So, because some don't have dads, some don't know how to communicate, you know, some don't know what to say.
Right.
So I take all those life lessons that he learned, you know, even the one about soften your eyes. You stand Mr. Wilson like you want to do something to me. You know.
Right. No.
And so I learned to use those things that he instilled in me.
Since your dad's passing, what has life felt like for you day to day, and how have things shifted or changed?
I think internalizing the fact that he was a man of God and that he realized that, you know, honestly, we're just passing through this journey. It's a journey, you know, we're not passing, we're not meant to stay. So it's like, don't get your mind and your thoughts and your will focused on being here. You know what I'm saying? Do what you're supposed to do when you're here, but don't make this your end all be all.
Yeah.
You know, there's a better place you're going to. So that's what I gained most of from his life and from him passing, that, you know, we're just passing through.
Okay, cool. I like that. At any point in time, and like at the beginning of, like right after he passed, did you get angry with God?
No, because the thing is, I knew he knew God. So I can't get angry at God, a man or a spirit that he served and that we all serve in our family, you know. So I couldn't get angry, but it made me look back in retrospect on how God was shown in his life. You know, how I was amazed that him and my mom were born on the same day at the same hospital, 30 minutes apart.
What?
That's God, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I didn't look at it from a negative perspective. I choose not to look at life from a negative perspective, but from a positive. You know, the glass half empty or half full. I say it's half full, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't get angry about that, you know, plus he got older, he was sicker, so he was ready to go. I mean, so it wasn't like me, like I want him to stay here, he don't want to be here.
Right.
You know, so he lived a full life. And he was a great man, you know. Everybody loved my dad in Detroit, you know. Yeah. You know, like I said earlier, I thought he was always mean, right? But when I look back, everybody was at my house.
Yeah.
Everybody at Lee's house, you know. Cause my dad was one that, you know, the disciplinary neighborhood, they call him the warden. His name was Mr. Ward. When they come to warden. Yeah. But on 7 Mile and Cherish, he took us to the Detroit Pistons. He took us to the Red Wings games. Okay. He brought Little League football to our neighborhood. You know, all the things that I took for granted was like, you know, my dad, he's just this sort of tough guy. All the kids wish they had a father like mine. But it took me to be a grown man to realize that. Yeah. You know, even now, when I do things and I post about my schoolwork, all my friends be like, man, your dad'd be proud of you. Yeah. You doing just like he did. He'd be so proud of you. So it made me realize that, you know, his life wasn't in vain. Yeah. He really lived a full life, and I really gained from it.
I'm glad. I like that. What's something that you learned about yourself during the time that you allowed yourself to grieve for your dad?
I learned there's a bigger purpose than just me. It's not about me. Whatever I try to do it where God is glorified. I may not be successful all the time, but I recognize that life is not about me. It's about servanthood. That's what my whole mission, to serve people. You know, my friends I meet, try to help them. My coworkers, my peers, scholars, whoever I come in contact with, I want to be seen as a service. So when it was time for me to go home, and say, you know what, that guy, he really looked out for everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I always believe, we truly love somebody, let it go.
Yeah.
It'll come back. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I live my life.
Yeah. I like that you said that because that made me think about how you really are a servant. Like you're for the people, for real. In a way, yeah, in a way that, I don't know. I feel like I've seen you interact with enough people at different stages of life that it's given me a well-rounded view of you just as a man as a whole, right? How you are with little kids, how you are with middle school kids, high school kids, and then of course, like you were saying, with your peers, and how even when you've been attacked, you still had this poise and grace that, to me, let people know who you are and whose you are, right? Because there was never a point in time where you got, I don't want to say this word, I mean, it's not a bad word, but catty. We don't use catty with regards to, men, but I can't think of the term, but you were never derogatory. And if you were, it was behind closed doors. Like, so not everybody, myself included, got to see it. But you've always had this way about you that, to me, gave off kind of like Santa Claus, or what people think Santa Claus is. Like, you're always just loving and giving, and that helped me a lot when I was down here, unbeknownst to you. But it really did, like, keep me going at times when I thought it was just like, yep, just throw in the towel, give it up, go back home. But so thank you for that, and thank you for allowing God to use you and you being like just strategic in people's lives. So
I think don't get it twisted.
Right.
So I do get angry at times,
No.
but I have to look at, I have to look at, what is God trying to show me? Because it ain't about them.
Right.
It's about what he's trying to show me.
Yeah.
So I can get stronger. So, and that's where the joy comes in. That people don't know. I'm like, okay, you do what you do what you do. But I know the God in me is bigger than you. So whatever is happening, it's not about you.
For sure.
It's about me.
Yeah.
And what is God trying to show me to improve me, to get me better? And that's why I kind of can deal with situations. Because I don't give them the power to say, I did this to you. You ain't done to me.
Yeah.
That God didn't allow you to do.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? And then looking at that, what he trying to show me. So that's how I can sustain my emotional steadiness.
All right. So in what you just said, would you say that was something that your dad instilled in you?
My dad was raw though. In Detroit, he had friends that, and I don't know if I should be saying this. When they have business meetings, they might end up throwing chairs across the table with each other.
Oh, okay.
Is that raw? On that level.
Yeah.
But it go back to why are we here? Why are we here? So my dad, he was in the community in Detroit,
Do you have any ways that you stay connected with your dad now, like through traditions or rituals or even personal things that you do?
I know one of his favorite scriptures was 1 John 1:9. If you confess your sins, the Lord is faithful and just to forgive you and to cleanse you of all unrighteousness. He called it God's rebound technique. So when you mess up, you can always go to God and say, hey, I'm trying to get better at this. You know what I'm saying? But you don't use that to do the same thing over and over again. But you know that God has your back. So that's one thing I keep with me. His scriptures, 1 John 1:9. He always stood on that.
I like that. And then thinking about it in those terms, like don't use it and then try to do it over and over again. Don't take God's grace for granted. Yeah, that's good. I like that. Well, you just answered that question. What was a scripture or a quote? What's been the hardest part about losing your dad?
The talks, As we got older, I became a man. We could talk about anything. You know, me being married 39 years, you know, raising kids, difficult situations on the job, you know, in ministry, you know, he really, really became my best friend, you know, and I used to go visit him sometimes, and we step out there talking about college, what he did in college, you know, how he pledged and how he met this, and, you know, he always taught me how to use the approach, you know, because you have to learn how to approach people to get what you want out of them. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Yeah.
whether it's the words that you use, your body posture. You know, he taught me little nuances about life that, you know, I was like, man, get out of here. I'm gonna talk how I want to talk. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you gonna come up short. But you know, I had to learn. You know, he always talked about the approach. You know, and so it was masterful. He was a master teacher of life. He really was.
I like that. I don't think a lot of people think about. I guess now it would be grandfathers,
Right.
because of the age, but they don't think about people that have lived a long and full life being just that, being a master of life. It's like, oh, they old, whatever, you know, old timer, you know. But I don't know, I guess that might just be the arrogance of youth, because we've all done it, right? Like, you don't know what you're talking about. Ah, this is my life, whatever. When our parents or grandparents are really actually trying to instill, you know,
Knowledge and
their
wisdom, yeah.
knowledge and giving us the game, if you will. And we're
Yeah.
like, yeah, all right, you know, well, it ain't like that now, blah, blah. But life is still the same. So,
Well, what's happening in these days and times, you got to recognize that Satan has broken the family structure up.
very true.
So mothers and fathers of children these days don't have a relationship with their parents.
That's true.
You know, I know more than you. You can't tell me what to do. Blah 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 blah. So therefore, it's broken. So you can't bypass the parents to get to the knowledge from their grandparents because there's no relationship there.
Yeah.
You know, so and that's why you know, I think God has placed me over into this primary area where I'm working at now, because He took me backwards. Criminal justice degree.
Yeah.
Worked in a prison for 3 years. Working juvenile department for over 30 years, and now I'm working with young folks. So I went backwards so I could teach you what not to do moving forward. You got to look at that.
Yeah.
That's God. You know what I'm saying? Trying to show people, hey, He's been there, so listen. You know, knowledge and wisdom begins with hearing.
Yes.
You have to
very
hear
true.
first of all what somebody's telling you, and then you can grow. So it took me backwards to move me forward. So I can move me forward.
You saying some good, but just
I'm a
dropping
G.
these
I'm a G.
gems. Listen. Has there been anything someone said or did that really stood out to you or helped you feel seen in the time when you were heavily grieving your father? And I say heavily because grief doesn't end, right? So even though it may have been a while, long time, short time, whatever, the grief is still there and you still go through it because it's cyclical. It comes back. But has there been anybody who has just kind of given you the space that you've needed when that grief has been heavy on you?
You know what? And I'm gonna say this. I find this to be true. I have two good friends. My fraternity brother, I was in college, his name is Copeland Odom, and then my best friend now, Curtis Mann. They tell me the same thing, and both tell me the same thing. Why you always so hard on yourself?
Yeah.
You know, I try to do the right thing all the time, and then I put so much pressure on myself that sometimes I tend to not to enjoy life.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I want to make sure I'm doing this right. I'm pleasing everybody, but then I gotta realize that you can't please everybody.
Right.
You know, I'm messing around. I'm 60 now. I'm messing around, and life gonna be the pass me by. You know, so the biggest thing I learned is that not to be so hard on myself. You know, so that's what I took out of that.
That's good. I think we as a society don't give men, and in particular black men, enough credit when it comes to them being people pleasers.
Yeah.
Essentially. I don't want to necessarily use that term, but you know, always trying to make sure that their family and friends are good, but don't take the time for themselves.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the health issues come in, right?
Absolutely,
Because they're
yeah.
always trying to make sure everybody else is okay. Is my wife, my kids, my siblings, are they all okay? that they put themselves on the back burner. And so I'm glad that you have some friends, especially some guy friends.
Like they say on the plane, put your mask on first.
Yes, I tell people that all the time. Like, how you gonna breathe? How you gonna help somebody else if you can't breathe?
Absolutely.
You can't.
Okay.
So you can't pour from an empty cup. Like, all those things are essentially saying the same thing. Mm-hmm. That you have to take care of yourself first. And it's okay to, in this case, because some people see it this way, be selfish about you and your time.
I'm learning that. I'm learning that.
Yeah. It's a tough, listen, that is tough to do. Because I'm like that myself. Yep. Learning it. We're both still learning. Life is still going, so we still have time to learn. If you could share one thing with people about what it's like to lose your father, especially something people often misunderstand, what would you say?
I think the fact that I celebrated him while he was here every day made his homegoing easier.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So my thing is celebrate the people while they're alive. Give them their flowers now.
Yeah.
So when they're gone, it's like, hey, I did what I did. You did what you did. We enjoyed each other's life. It's the next phase in life. Everybody got to go that way.
Yeah.
So I think giving people their flowers and enjoying them while you can, that's a must.
I like that, and that is a statement that people I think often misunderstand, because I think people want people to just be like just super broken, and just
and you can't be,
right.
and it hurts from a carnal perspective. It hurts from a carnal perspective, but from a spiritual,
right?
You put on spiritual sunglasses and see through spiritual eyes. Hey, well, I got to go that way. You know what I'm saying? And he's in a better place. He want me to bring him back,
right?
He'd be like, boy, I wish you would bring me back,
right?
So yeah,
that's good. I think about that too, with regards to the life that we know of or think about that heaven is compared to the life here.
Yeah.
And which one would they rather be in?
Home.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, cause this down here is kind of tough.
Yeah.
Even on good days, it can still be tough.
Absolutely.
And so with that being the perfect paradise, there's not really a choice, right?
Yeah.
It's no brainer. Looking back just a little bit, has your experience with grief changed over time? And if so, how?
Again, from a carnal perspective, missing my dad, not having him to talk to, I was confident, that hurt. But growing in grace, growing stronger as a man, again, is the glass half full or half empty? You have to look at it from that perspective. So, other than that, I'm fine with it. I mean,
good.
And I hope and pray that I'm that same kind of light to my kids. But it's time for me to go look back and say, hey, Daddy's so we crazy, but Daddy's so. So.
I think sometimes this might be morbid, but I sit and think about, when I die, and if there will be a lot of people at my funeral, just for the sake of me having touched them in some way. Like, how many people are gonna be there?
That's crazy, because my kids tell me, they're like, Dad, if you die, they say, you know how many people you've touched? How many lives you would affect if you die? And I was like, no, I hadn't thought about it.
Yeah.
But my kids always on Facebook, I was, hey, Coach Wilson. And then this year we had our homecoming game. A lot of kids came back, and a lot of parents came back, and they was just like, hey, Mr. Wilson, you still here? It's 20 years. But I never gave it a thought on the time. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I think about the same thing.
Yeah. I was sad.
I told my wife, I said, don't bury me. I want to, what you call that?
Be cremated.
Cremated. Have like a memorial celebration,
Yeah.
I want y'all to be telling jokes. Mr. Wilson, I remember one thing, so he wild,
Right.
And so it's not a sad occasion.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to a better place. So.
And I think that's where, just for lack of a better term, we got it twisted.
Yeah. We do.
Because, and I think that's probably just a selfish part of us as people. Like, we don't want our loved one to go.
Yeah.
But again, it's like, man, they lived life. Like, depending on who it is, right? Like, they lived a full life. They lived a complete life. And they taught so much and touched so many people I mean, let's have a party. Like,
Yeah,
it's not.
that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
I often say this, and I ain't like I'm ready to go.
Right.
Don't get twisted.
All right.
But I said, if God was to take me now, I can't complain about nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I have two beautiful kids.
Mm-hmm.
I went to college, self-sufficient, independent. A wife that loved me. Look at the camera. For 39 years, it was hard to do. I have a job that I have a job I worked for the last 20 years. It ain't even like going to work.
Yeah.
I go to work and have fun.
Mm-hmm.
So if something was to happen, I can't play about it because God has blessed me. He really has.
Yeah.
Great friends. I mean, I can't.
Yeah. I'm glad you said the whole thing, but there's one thing that stood out to me that I think has been lost just in education, period. Anybody who works in education, going to work and having fun.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that has been, and that's something that we could talk about, grieving.
Yeah.
I mean, you haven't experienced that, but I have. Like, I used to tell people all the time, man, I get paid to teach Spanish, which is fun, but then the kids, like, me being with kids all day, like, man, it's amazing. So I get paid to have fun. Even though I'm teaching them stuff, I get paid to have fun, and I lost it for a little bit.
Yeah.
It's come back now, like, because I used to get up and be like, oh my God, I gotta go to work.
Yeah.
So, but I think that's how a lot of corporate people feel because of a lot of the stuff that they say. So, that's another thing. Thank you, because that's a teacher burnout.
Yeah.
That's grief.
I think social and emotional learning, which I teach, is real.
Yeah,
because you don't know what these kids are going through. Whether they're homeless, whether they don't have meals to eat, whether they have clothes to wear. Who's gonna be the light?
Yeah.
Who's gonna lift their spirits up in their sin?
Yeah.
You have to actually love what you do. I was telling my principal Friday. This is one girl in the cafeteria, the Spanish girl. I work kindergarten at lunchtime, and she's in her seat doing this. And so I said, "Come here." I said, "Why are you acting like that?" And she said, "Mr. Wilson, I love school." I said, like a little tear for that.
Yeah.
Right? I said, "Go have a seat, baby."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so I think the innocence and the joy, you have to cultivate that. Because I could have said something mean,
Right.
It could have killed her spirit, killed her joy. So yeah, the social emotional learning aspect that I really focus on here at Hampton Preparatory in my everyday life, it's real because everybody, we just one paycheck away from being on the curve. Don't get it twisted.
Listen.
So don't get too far gone. It can be you.
You're right. So for sure. That's how I be like, I'm glad I speak another language because I can go do something somewhere else and still, hopefully, get paid. Have you been taking care of yourself?
I have.
Through your grief process. Okay. So what's something that's helped you and what's something that hasn't helped you?
I think for me, trying to eat better, taking my medication for high blood pressure, whatever. Working out. I work out in the morning on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 5 o'clock in the morning if I come to work.
Okay.
From 5 to 6.
Oh.
And so it makes me feel better when I come to work.
Yeah.
Plus, I think the stress of being in education, you got to get it off somehow.
Very true.
So working out in the gym, walking, swimming, things like that, I'm good.
So what's something that hasn't helped? Is there anything, I guess, that hasn't helped?
That hasn't helped? That's a good question. I don't know.
Well, then that means there's nothing if you can't think of it.
Right,
So everything's been able to help. I like that.
I think dealing with difficult people,
Yeah.
co-workers who are not on the same level that you are, that can get you frustrated. But my thing is, I want to love them through it. You're going to see me and be like, you know what? If he can do it, I can do it. You know what I'm saying? So that's the way I look at it.
Yeah. So a walking, talking, living testimony.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Are there moments when you feel like you're guessing your way through life after losing your dad, and just trying to do stuff that feels right?
I think we don't have all the answers, so sometimes you have to guess.
Okay.
But you make an educated guess. well-rounded, thought-out guest. And my thing is
such an educator.
yeah, well, my thing is, if I don't know him, I'm gonna ask somebody.
Yeah.
That been through it. Hey, what you think?
Yeah.
Give me some feedback. Because I don't pretend to have all the answers. That's the problem now. Everybody, I know it all. You don't.
Very true.
Quit fronting. So I think having friends, having relationships, that's why it's important to be able to ask somebody. Hey, what's your opinion of this?
Listen, I feel like every question you just knocking it out the park. Thank you.
I do.
Thank you.
Organically.
Yes, very true. If you had one more moment with your dad, one more conversation, what would you say to him?
It depends on what the situation is.
Well, give me as many as you can.
I would ask him, hey, how's heaven?
Oh yeah, for sure. Most
you kicking
definitely.
it? Is it good?
Yeah.
If nothing else, you know what? That's crazy because my father and I talked about everything. There's nothing else I want to ask him now that I had already asked him about life, about relationships, about being married, about family, about children. We talked about everything. I'm so blessed the fact that I got over the fear of Mr. Ward, the warden.
Yeah.
If they use Tokyo Joe, would open up, we could talk about anything. So when my dad had a wonderful relationship, we could talk about everything. So there's nothing I would ask him except on the other side, on the other side. But besides that, that's my guy.
Oh, man, that's good. What would you, have you taught your grandson about your dad?
You know what? That's crazy. I hadn't even talked about my grandfather to my son. To my grandson.
Yeah.
I've been, we go over our affirmations every day, and I'm teaching him. But that's crazy. I hadn't even mentioned my father to him because he's so young. He's just 5,
Yeah.
I'm Pawpaw now.
Yeah.
Daddy, go back, I'm Pawpaw now.
Yeah.
So, but he would have loved him. He would have loved him. My dad got to the age where he had the big electrical wheelchair, probably riding Ashton around in the wheelchair around the house, But yeah, nothing really yet. But when he get a little older, and when he asks, Papa, what's your daddy? Then I better tell him, A, B, and C.
Yeah. So without him asking yet, though, in the 5 years of his life, what have you instilled in him, or started instilling in him, that your dad instilled in you?
Family. Family first. No matter what you're going through, you can always depend on your family.
Yeah.
Well, you should be able to.
Yeah.
The way I was raised, it's different now. You know what I'm saying? Family cuts you off. But our family, hey, if all else fails, you can always go back home.
Yeah.
You can't stay home now.
Right.
My dad tell you,
figure it
you
out.
can come back. You can figure it out, but you can't stay. But you can always come back home. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I want him to see. Like we do all kind of family stuff. Every weekend we might go just to the lake and walk on the trail. As a family. If everybody's off, we get together. My grandson called it holiday. He watched a show called Bluey. They go on. They don't call it a vacation. They call it a holiday.
Oh, right. Of
You
course.
go to Houston and get a hotel room, swim and stuff. So I want to instill in him, before I'm gone, that hey, family's first. Family's first and foremost.
Yeah.
So.
And forever. And y'all sense for real because you do things together.
Yeah.
Okay. What are things that you remember that make you smile instead of hurt with regards to your dad and his life and his legacy?
Again, back to family. Growing up in Detroit, we used to go every Friday. We went to dinner, and my mom used to say, I used to tell my dad, "Daddy, get out on people's head, cause he always be looking around." You know what I'm saying? I'm saying, listening to conversations.
Yeah.
He's a people person. You know what I'm saying? So, just the fact that we spend time together as a family. It may not be it's not, people feel like it's not the big things you do in life. It's the little things you do that you remember.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, just the fact that he was just an awesome dad.
Yeah.
Awesome man, So, I couldn't I couldn't be better than him. You know what I'm saying? Because he checked all the boxes in every area. Every area, you know. Community leader, you know, a disciplinarian, a teacher, you know. Matter of fact, I'm in the process of now writing a book. Yeah, it's called Finally Out From Under the Desk. I mean with this. When I was in the third grade, I was a busybody asking questions. I had a teacher who one of her arms was bigger than the other. And I asked her, say, man, why one arm bigger than the other? She wrote a referral on me. And said I was disruptive to the classroom and I need to be locked away somewhere. And she made me get up under her desk in the classroom.
Wow.
And so I went over and told my parents, and he's like, I gotta work again. They wanted to have me tested. So my dad said, cool, we have him tested. But they felt like my mother and father were social workers. They knew all the people in Detroit.
Yeah.
You know, all these tests they had me take, it would cost $1,000, they got it for free. So I had to see the social worker, her name was Miss Clue. And she came in, I met with her once a week for about 6 months. She finally broke down and said, you know, Mr. Ward, there's nothing wrong with him. The teacher was embarrassed because he asked her about her arm.
Right.
And so she wrote there and supporting him
Right.
and caused all this. But if my parents were not social workers, I could have been lost in the system.
Right.
See what I'm saying? And so that's the bottom line why I do the work that I do. Because what you say as an educator can ruin a kid's life.
For sure.
Or can give life.
Yeah.
You know, so that's my book. My book's gonna be called Finally Out From Under the Desk. And it's gonna chronologize the whole story of what happened, caseworker, my parents, and how I was able to grow up, go to college, get a college degree, and back working with kids in primary.
Right.
See, I had it all come back.
Right. That's what I was like, full circle.
Full circle. So
Yeah.
you know, say God is in everything I do. He's always protecting me. So, like I said, yeah, coming soon.
Shameless plug.
Out from under the desk.
Out from under
A
the
social
desk.
and emotional experience.
Yeah. When can
like
we
that.
expect it?
Now you pushing all the way.
Okay. Well.
Soon.
Soon.
Yeah, I'm working on it right
Coming
now.
soon to a bookstore
Near you.
near you.
Number one
Amazon
seller.
or
I'm
something.
claiming that. Number one seller.
Bestseller.
Bestseller.
New York Times
Yes.
bestseller.
Yes.
We like that.
Claim it.
We speaking that into existence.
Absolutely.
That's gonna be it for you.
Yeah.
Okay. I
We,
love
if
it.
we have another conversation, I'll give you my first interview once the book go number one.
I'm taking it. Come on. Yep.
And I'm gonna sit here and say, I was right there when he first said it.
Right.
And call that thing done.
Call it done. In
Yeah.
Jesus' name, we
Yeah,
claiming it.
Absolutely.
That's it. I'm excited. Yay.
It's on. It's on.
All right. Well, Henry, it feels so awkward to call you Henry.
Yes.
Because we call each other last names in the education world. In case those of you lay people who have never been in education, we go by last names. So Wilson.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for answering my call. I mean, not that I didn't think that you would,
Yeah.
but answering my call and like really being like, okay, yeah, I'll do
Yeah,
it.
man.
And then
I mean-
finding the space and all that. Like, this has been great.
Understand that nothing just happens when it comes to my life.
Very true.
Nothing just happens. God has ordered my footsteps. He always told me, if I keep him first, everything I do will be prosperous.
Yeah.
So this is just the beginning. There's no accident, no coincidence.
Yeah.
That you call me, ask me to do this.
That's
I'm like,
true.
I got you.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. So, thank you. I know somebody who watches this is going to get blessed.
They might call me, hey, come on my talk show next.
Yeah. Listen, or come help me with these kids.
Tell my baby, what up, though?
Run me the money.
Run me.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And this is what it was like to work with him, ladies and gentlemen. Always laughter.
It's always love.
Always a good time. And always support. So, again, thank you for coming. I trust and believe that somebody is going to get something from this. Whether it's learning about your dad and like how I did and was like, oh yeah, I'm going to use that technique in my class. Not Tokyo Joe. I'm not going to say that. But that would be, that's just something to give people a sense of relief when it comes to them not being judged.
Mhm.
Somebody just listening and giving them the space to feel all the feelings that they have and not being talked about or laughed at because of what they're feeling and what they're saying.
Yeah.
So that's great. That's amazing. So thank you again. And I'm
welcome.
pretty sure, listen, I'll make the drive to come back home. Phoenix rising from the ashes.
Once a finish, always a finish.
So, my Live in the Bold family, I thank you guys for watching. I know for sure, like I just told Wilson, that somebody got something out of this, whether it be men learning how to deal with themselves and take care of themselves, or even just learning how to give somebody space and not judge them. I know that you got something out of this, and I thank you for watching. And keep in mind, as always, God made everything on the face of the earth. Trees, birds, all of that. But he made you in his image. So you are his greatest thing. Never forget that. I love you guys. See you later.